Coming to paperback and e-readers, John Haynes, Illuminati. The man who rules the world takes on the head of the global elite in this action-packed, all-new John Haynes series adventure. Pre-order your copy of John Haynes Illuminati on Amazon.com and online booksellers everywhere. Better get the coleslaw, y'all, because we're having us a barbecue. I was watching a Mad Black 80 video the other day where he talked about a woman who filled out a job application for her boyfriend. Now, Mad Black 80 was making a commentary regarding a video he saw on Instagram of a woman who filled out an application for her boyfriend. And as I was watching him make this commentary, it made me shake my head as related to the story of this young man, because it shows that this young man had absolutely no male life skills or male survival skills provided to him by his mother or his father. And as he has gone and transitioned from a codependent relationship with his mother, where he was coddled and spoiled, he has now transitioned into a codependent relationship with his girlfriend, who is in a codependent relationship with him. And instead of him being a man who is taking the lead over his own life, his girlfriend is basically treating him like a child and going out and doing things for him that he should be doing for himself. Now, when it comes to jobs, it's a man's job to go out here and find his own work, and it's a man's job to have himself in a position where he can go out here and look to find his own job. And a man is supposed to know what type of work he's supposed to be looking for. These are male life skills that a boy learns at an early age when he has a father in his life and older brothers. When he has other male figures to show him a model of manhood, he quickly learns he has to go out here and learn to make his own money, because making your own money is something a man has to do, because it's a man's job to take care of himself, because no one else will do that for you. However, when it comes to this bumper crop of beta males who have been socially engineered over the last 60 years, they have been socially engineered to be coddled and spoiled by their single mothers. And as they have been coddled and spoiled by their single mothers, these males do not have the proper male life skills or male survival skills to understand their own agency or to take their own personal power and go out and seek out their own job. No, what these mothers do is again coddle and spoil these boys and put them in a codependent relationship, and then the girlfriend transitions and takes him on for a codependent relationship as well. And sadly, many of these women, because they see this dysfunctional model provided for them by their single moms, believe that this is functional, whereas 2 generations ago, a woman who saw a man like this wouldn't want anything to do with him if she were in her right mind, because she would understand that if this man cannot lead himself, he would not be able to lead a family or have a relationship with her where he could lead the relationship. Because part of a man's leadership skills is him having his own job that he got for himself, because when a man goes out here and gets his own job, that basically shows that that man is, 1, a leader taking charge of his own life, 2, taking control of his own life, 3, setting a direction for himself, and 4, as is able to find a way to take care of his own needs and provide for himself. These are traits that show that this man is a leader as related to life, and is someone who is a capable and suitable person to be considered for a relationship by women. Unfortunately, as women have grown up in dysfunction, they believe that the kind of guy that they should go out here and get is one of these softer males who doesn't really know how to do anything and want him basically because they want to have complete power and control in the relationship. Unfortunately, they wind up becoming frustrated by these individuals because they are just like children, because only a child needs you to fill out an application for him for a job. No, a man is somebody who can fill out his own application and go out here and get his own job. That's something that I learned working at the Strive Job Readiness Workshop, where I worked with individuals who were considered to be the worst of the worst and considered to be unemployable. As I was working with the Strive Job Readiness Workshop, I worked with people who were ex-offenders, who had been incarcerated. I worked with homeless individuals who had no residence at the time as they were looking to get their lives in order. I worked with people coming out of addiction and recovery as related to drug and alcohol addiction. And sadly, all of those people were more job ready after 3 weeks of the Strive program than the individual Mad Black 80 talked about, because at least after 3 weeks of the Strive program, we had people who had their a resume, we had people who could fill out a job application. But if you're a grown man who needs a woman to fill out an application, that's a level of pathetic that is really down there. And that's just the tip of the iceberg of pathetic that I have had to deal with. I mean, I have seen individuals who are more pathetic than that, in addition to not only them having a woman fill out the job application, they actually had the woman take the dude to the interview in order to get him to the interview on time. And that's really sad, because it shows that that male has no life skills as related to taking responsibility for himself, and that he needs a woman to take responsibility for him, to go out here, dress him up, go out here, drive him to the interview, and actually sit in the interview with the dude, doing things with him that he needs to do on his own. And sadly, this is what happens to some guys. But again, as I said before, this is just the tip of the iceberg of pathetic when it comes to these dudes, because in some extreme cases, some of these women, they will be working in HR or a management position in business. And as they're working in HR or a management position in business, what they will do, in addition to filling out the job application, is go out here and hire this guy at their company. And they'll hire the guy at the company because he can't go out here and get his own job. And these are the kind of guys that are out here these days because partially of the man crisis. And you got guys out here who can't do anything for themselves. And it's just sad to see that you see a grown man who needs his girlfriend to fill out his job application, or a girlfriend who needs to drive him to the interview and sit down with him in the interview, and in some cases even talk for him during the interview. Or in the most extreme cases, you got women who are working in HR who will put in a word for dude and even fill out all the job applications, make sure all the paperwork is done, and tell the guy all he needs to do is show up. And in some of these sad cases, a lot of these guys, once they get all of this enabling done for them, what they will do is quit the job in 2 weeks because they're not happy, or because they have to actually confront actual male authority, and these whole actions make them so upset that they wind up wanting to quit the job because they were not made happy, because they're used to being spoiled and coddled. And that's the main reason why a lot of these guys are just pathetic, because again, if a woman has to fill out your job application, that really is a sign of weakness. And it's a sign of weakness when somebody is going out here doing things for you. Because, again, I will say it once more, it's a man's job to get his own job. Now, people can help a man get a job by saying things like, oh, there's an opening at such and such place. This is the name of the manager. And that's where you go out here and put in your own initiative as a man. And you make that call, or you send that email resume with a cover letter, or you even just go down there and talk to dude. And that's help because the man is taking initiative for himself. And even in cases of job applications, I remember back in the day, there were stories of people who had literacy issues, and what they would do is maybe they would go to their girlfriend to get some help in filling out the job application, but that man went out here and got that application himself, and that man basically was the one looking for that job himself. He was the one making the initiative. But the cases of these individuals that Mad Black 80 talked about, this is a case of pathetic that I have dealt with in job readiness, and family members I have encountered have dealt with in job readiness. And what's sad is that this kind of stuff gets enabled by dysfunctional women who are working in business. They believe that they need to do this to try to keep a man, but they don't see that that's not a man you're going to respect, and you're not going to respect that man because that man is coming from a position of weakness, because it's a weak man who lets a woman fill out his applications for him. I mean, this is basically your job is how you eat, and what this woman is doing is controlling how you eat and what food you eat by telling you where you're going to work. I mean, telling somebody what school to go to when they're a kid, that's what you do when a kid is a kid, because a kid doesn't know any better. But a grown man is supposed to go out here and take his own initiative to finding his own job and finding his own way to making his own money, because he's the one who's supposed to be in charge of his finances. He's the one who's supposed to be in charge of making his own living. And sadly, this male who needs a woman to fill out his job application isn't living. No, that male is existing, and that male is basically existing at the tender mercies of this woman, who I guarantee you will have no respect for this dude, and she will have no respect for this dude because she's the one who has got to do the work for him. Whereas if a man does his own work, guess what? He's going to get a lot of respect. This is something I have encountered myself in the job market. I mean, I noticed that when I had jobs out here, I got a lot of respect, and I got a lot more respect that I do than when I'm running my business SJS Direct. I mean, when women see a man who goes out here and makes his own initiative and takes a leadership role in cases of the job market, she does respect him, and she'll respect him because he's the one taking charge of his own life, and that is something that she will admire and want to see in a man that she wants to follow the lead of, and she will feel comfortable about following the lead of that man because she knows that this man is confident in himself, is looking to set direction for where he wants to go, looking to set a tone for what he wants to do and what he wants to accomplish, and is working towards his goals. That is something that women admire in a man. But when she sees a dude she got to fill out an application for, I guarantee you she's out here looking to apply for a job for another man to blow the back out, because while these pookies may think that they have a large penis that may satisfy that woman. It doesn't meet her emotional needs, and her real emotional needs are to see a man taking a leadership role, because that power position that some of these women think that they have over this man, it becomes frustrating over time. I know this from growing up in the South Bronx and seeing so many relationships deteriorate. It becomes frustrating when she's the breadwinner and she has to get involved with a man who puts himself in a submissive position where she is basically taking care of a child, because only a child needs a man to fill out his job application and possibly cut his own meat. I mean, that's a position of weakness for a man. It's completely weak for a dude to have a woman going out here and filling out his application for a job. No, any man of character who understands manhood and masculinity understands when it comes to your job is something that is a part of you, and it's a part of you because part of the things that God put in men is to work, and we have to work for ourselves because work is a part of our survival. And the problem with guys like this is that they don't understand their role as men, don't understand their power as men or agency as men, and have not been encouraged to take that agency by women who coddle them and just leave him in a place like a child, because a man, again, never should have a woman filling out his applications. No, a man should not have a woman going out here dominating him to the point where she's telling him what job to take. No, when it comes to a man's job, when it comes to his employment, he is the one who needs to keep his job separate from his woman, because if that relationship goes sour, then his job might go sour. But I just look at that whole situation Mad Black 80 was talking about, and again, it took me back to my days of working in job readiness, and this goes even beyond what I had experienced in some of the encounters at Strive and had dealt with. I mean, this was just absolutely embarrassing to hear, because this basically shows me that you have a male with no male life skills, no male survival skills, no understanding of his role as a man, and a man who basically is on the road to becoming a man in crisis, because if there are no women around, this is what's going to lead to this man winding up all on the street, because basic life skills are being able to fill out a job application. I mean, even though I've had a hard time finding work, I have no problem filling out job applications. I have no problem making a resume. I mean, I know how hard it is in this job market. I know how hard it is with these HR brick walls created by feminists and bitter women. And if this is the kind of guy that is out here, I mean, that these women think is viable as a man, then I understand why so many women are single, because this kind of guy is not capable of doing the basic things a man needs to do. And part of the basic things a man needs to do before he even gets involved with a woman is be able to find his own job and take care of himself as a man. Now, if you want to learn why so many of these males are dysfunctional like this, you can pick up my book, The Man Crisis, on Amazon.com in paperback and Kindle format. You can also find The Man Crisis at other online booksellers like Smashworth, the iBookstore, Google Play, and Barnes & Noble. And if you want to learn why so many of these women go out here and pick guys that are pathetic like this, you can pick up my book, Why 70% of Black Women Are Single, on Amazon.com in paperback and Kindle format. And you can also find it on Smashworth, the iBookstore, and Google Play. And if you want to learn why so many of these guys are stuck with in codependent relationships like this, you can pick up my book, Stop Simping, Why Men Don't Need Finance to Get Romance, on Amazon.com as well. And I have lots of other books on the SJS Direct imprint that you can pick up, like the ISIS series, the Steam series, the John Haynes series, the books of the Spinsterella trilogy, my vampire novel, Eternal Night, my black sorority novel, The Thetas, and my black business book, A Recipe for Success. All of those books are available along with the other books I mentioned on Amazon, Smashwares, the iBookstore, Google Play, and Barnes & Noble. And if you want to see me talk more about men's issues, you can send a donation to the Patreon, the PayPal, or the Cash App by clicking the links in the description box. That's all I have to say for this video. You can comment, rate, and subscribe. Now available in paperback and e-readers, The Temptation of John Haynes. Give in to temptation and pick up this action-packed African-American paranormal romance. Get The Temptation of John Haynes in paperback and e-readers today. Now available in paperback and e-readers, Isis, All About the Goddess. The Goddess Next Door bears all in the art studio to catch a campus stalker in this action-packed Isis series mystery. Get your copy of Isis, All About the Goddess in paperback and e-readers at online booksellers everywhere. Support Black-owned and Black-operated digital broadcast media. www.niceradionetwork.com. Nice Radio Network, broadcasting 24 hours a day, 7 days a week.